said you liked the way you guys played in the third period, but the first two, what kind of happened to allow them to get that lead early and you guys having to play catch up the rest of the night?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a lot self-inflicted from our part. I think we had a lot of good stretches during the game where we created especially a lot of offense and gained a lot of momentum. So, we'll try to take that and clean up a couple of things.
Thanksgiving Eve game tonight, this has been a tradition here. I guess what have you appreciated most about playing with this organization, some of the long-standing traditions that have been here?
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously the energy in this building every night is amazing, and to add that on with these special occasions, it adds a little bit extra. And as a European, as a Swede coming over here and learning about all the tradition and how big it is over here, it's amazing to see, and something you just go along with and adapt to.
Have you become a big Thanksgiving?
Both yes and no. I like the food, but it's obviously pretty new, but I like it, yeah.
Are you, like either you or anybody else in here maybe attending the Lions game tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there. Mo will be there. A couple other guys as well. So I think that's an awesome tradition as well. And we went last year, so I'll look to keep that going this year.
Become big football fans since you've gotten here?
Yeah. When I came here, I didn't know anything about football, but now, obviously, being here for a while, I've grown to like it a lot. Soccer back home is probably still number one, but football is probably a close second.
Okay, so if you were a football player, Lucas, what position would you play?
I'd like to think something offensively, maybe a wide receiver, running back, something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
Well, Todd, happy early Thanksgiving.
Yeah, to everybody as well.
No JT Confer and Simon Edvidson out on the ice today.
Simon won't play again, and JT will be a game-time decision.
Was there an effect of something that happened in the Devils game for JT?
No, same flu bug type thing that's got Simon now.
And then some of the frustration that was boiling over at the end of the Devils game, do you kind of hope to use some of that emotion maybe towards coming out just with a strong overall effort tonight in this game?
Again, I've talked about this before. I don't believe that anything carries over from game to game. We start another night tonight, and we know we're in for a tough game. Both teams are desperate for wins, and this is its own event. It starts all over. Nashville has no input into what happened in New Jersey, and we have no input into what happened in Nashville the other night with their last game. Two new teams, new event. Come and play. I'm sure they will.
There's been a lot of talk about the rookies this season, their impact, but just the vets too. What have they brought to the group, and especially off the ice, behind the scenes?
Well, we're called a team for a reason. That means we've got a whole bunch of different types of personalities, a whole bunch of different ages, and a different level of experience. And the only way it works is if there's support up and down the ladder. And we have talked a lot about the younger players in our lineup, whether it's the rookies or even second-year players. And there's some that are having real good runs. There's others that are struggling, and that's inevitable. That's evolution. But on the backside, you see some of the veterans that are trying to help out, lend a helping hand, both physically and mentally. And usually it's that second part that is taxing for some younger ones. And they've done a real good job, and they've been supportive. So we're happy about that part.
Todd, you got the goal the last game from JVR, something that you needed, some support for the top line that's been doing most of the damage. How important is it just to get even a little bit of contribution from some of those other guys that have struggled to score?
Well, we talked last week about this. It's I think I used the words it's a must or it's essential, one of those two, but take your pick. It's virtually impossible to run 3 or 4 players all year from an offensive perspective and expect to get to the promised land. You need run support. And JVR, I thought he had his best game in a long time, or maybe even as a Red Wing the other night in Jersey. He played real well. That unit has been effective in their ice time and getting pucks to the net. So he did what he does real well in and around the net, and we could use more of that, certainly.
Todd, when you look at a team like Nashville, so many established stars, I mean, when you see that, is it kind of a scary team to play in that sense? And they could probably get it on track at any point here, I guess.
I don't know. That's a great question for Brew. We have our own, our own guys here that we're waiting to break out to answer's question. So I'm not too worried about what they have or don't have. We've got to get our guys going and make sure that they are contributing to the team.
Todd, Patrick's closing in on some pretty big milestones. I know you've coached several Hall of Famers. Is there anything about him that you've found to be really unique to him?
What differentiates him from those others? There's not a lot. They all have certain, like these photogenic memories. They can remember plays from a long time ago and tell you exactly maybe who was on the ice or that type of scenario and how it happened. I know when Wayne was around us in Edmonton, it was not ironic. It was like almost spooky how well he could replay situations over and over again. And if you went back and watched it, it was like he was doing play-by-play 25 years ago. Ken Cal Jr. So I think Kaner has that. He sees things. The other night in New Jersey, we had an initial face-off 6-on-5, and he felt that he saw something, and lo and behold, he was right. Tangs had it set up on the bench and during the timeout, but their vision is really unique, over and above all the passion and the love for the game and all that type of stuff that we've talked about endlessly. But that's a real good trait of Kaner's, but it's the same as these special players.
Maybe vision applies to this as well. You talked about a player, and Cam's got 9 wins. It's like I think Cam's top 5 or 6 in the league in wins right now for goalies. When you look at kind of his evolution, and for a goalie to last that long, there's no surprises in his game, right? Like everyone knows what Cam Talbot is. There's a book out on goalies, right? We hear about that all the time. When you look at Cam in particular, seeing him now versus maybe a little bit earlier, what about his game allows him to continue to evolve and be as successful as he's been?
I think, and I've been lucky enough to be around him with 3 different teams and basically a decade or more. I think that Talbs is much stronger between the ears now. It's water off his back. I think that he really has always been a really fit guy, but he takes care of himself well. And his practice habits, he works hard. He really does. And, I don't know if there's a lesson. The longer you go, the harder you have to work just to stay relevant. Maybe is there something to it? I don't know. But his work ethic is real strong. So provided him with longevity.
Do you think there's anything